Hello there. I'm sure you thought I forgot about this series, but I didn't. And I wanted to give you a somewhat of a conclusion as we move into the new year. So, here we go. Previously on LEGO Escape the Night, we made it halfway through the night, but so many lives were lost. Azumi, Positive, and CJ. But after the last challenge, a life was spared, and with 4 artifacts down, and a small glimpse of hope, we started to take on the rest of the night. But we were left with another note that warned of a betrayer among us, and the mayor's spell to trap the town founder grew weaker as midnight came closer.
Miss Davis, just the woman I was looking for.
Same to you, Mr. Wilson. I actually came to ask if I could extend my garden. I want to move some new and bigger plants in, and some of the vines just need more room to spread.
I actually came to talk to you about your garden too.
Oh, good.
We're paving it.
What?
The mayor and I were thinking about building a mall where your garden is. It could draw more people in, it could help the economy. Besides, who wants to look at a couple of dumb plants anyways?
But you can't do that.
Yeah, I can. And we will be doing it. Tomorrow.
But Mr. Wilson...
Yeah, so have all your plants out unless you want them run down. That's all. Hello there.
Excuse me, please.
But I can help you. Take this rose and go save your plants. If you're here to argue with me about the garden, don't bother.
There will be no argument. My plants aren't going anywhere.
So we discovered that the next monster that we had to face was an evil plant woman, and to defeat her, we had to collect 3 petals to restore a cursed flower given to her by the town founder. Once we arrived at her greenhouse, Grayson was quickly captured and we found another man that she had captured there. Then we were exposed by the evil plant lady.
Leave now or you'll end up just like him!
We quickly split up into 2 groups to find the 2 other petals, but to retrieve the final petal, 2 had to be voted into a final death challenge. The group got together and decided it was only fair to vote in Elise since she had lost the last challenge, but Grayson started a plan to vote in Danny since he saw her as a threat. Danny and Elise were voted into the challenge, and their challenge was to plant the perfect flower. After a close race of gathering the right soil, water, and light, Danny came out successful in the challenge and retrieved the final petal.
Now you have a choice. Since you've made up your sins by growing a perfect plant, you can either have me kill your opponent, or I can kill any other guest of your choosing.
Oh. So since I won the challenge, I have the choice to kill Elise or kill someone else that was not in this challenge with Elise and I. And I think I know what choice I'm going to be making tonight.
Decide now.
Danny, please.
Do you know who voted for me?
It was Grayson.
Elise, I'm really sorry, but you lost 2 challenges and I think it's honestly your time to go.
Are you serious right now?
So it's settled then.
I'm really sorry, Elise.
No, please!
So Elise is dead, but I realize that I can't focus on that right now. I put the last petal on the flower and go back to the lounge because I have some words for a couple people.
After Danny returned with the next artifact, it became Grayson versus the entire group. After Danny exposed his plan to get her out, he was seen as untrustworthy, but we still had to work with him to get the next artifact. Plus, we were running out of time. Now that it was past midnight, the town founder was free from his ice prison and on the loose. We had also received what was now our 5th warning note. We discovered that the next artifact was given to a woman who had lost her daughter and now was trying to build her own. We had to help the woman build her child by splitting up and collecting body parts she wanted, like brown eyes and the perfect nose. Yes, it was gross. But we found out in order to bring her daughter to life, a life force had to be electrically transmitted to her. We had to vote 1 person, only 1, to sit in the electric chair and die. The group basically came to a conclusion that it should be Grayson, and he was chosen to die. Grayson, I'm so sorry.
No. How dare you guys do this to me?
After her daughter was brought to life, she gave us the artifact of her cursed daughter's heart. When we arrived back to our base, we saw the sheriff writing a note, and it was then we realized he was the person who had been leaving the notes behind all night. Shocker, right? But he told us that he was trying to secretly inform us about some traitor amongst us, which turns out to be the mayor. After this reveal, we began questioning the mayor to try to figure out how she betrayed us. She tells us that she invited us to the town because she knew the town founder would return and people would have to die to defeat him. So basically, she set us up. Oh, we all wanted to kill her, but we realized we needed her if we wanted to get out of this town alive. So we moved on and checked the map, and we didn't see anything, but we did find a box that told us we had to find tickets for the show. So we searched our base, and we all found tickets for us and put them in the box, and then a circus appeared on the map. So basically, there's a backstory, and we find out the town founder has a son that found out about his plot to take over the world and began trying to find a way to take him down. But the town founder found out and sold his son off to the Circus of Souls. To get the next artifact, we had to free all the souls from the circus. This included the freak show acts like a bearded lady, some man who could talk to rats, and an extremely short man. And then we had to free the son of the founder, but the clowns told us we had to stay and watch the show in order to free him. The show, we were informed about, would need 2 volunteers. We realized that this was the death challenge. The group then pointed out that me and Red had not been into a challenge yet. Red volunteered the challenge, but I was concerned about putting my name in, but I also ended up volunteering anyways after I realized people would just vote for me. Then me and Red had to pick partners to help us in the challenge. Red chose Ben and I chose Reset. Me and Red were tied to targets, and Ben and Reset were both asked 5 riddles that they had to figure out. Ben figured out his first, and yes, I died. I'm so sorry, you guys.
Time to die! That was fun. But don't forget, we have 2 losers.
Oh my god.
In the chaos, the other guests were able to free the founder's son, and he gave them the ticket, which was the artifact, and a key that he said would help them defeat the founder later. After I died, Death came to collect me, but the town founder struck a deal with him.
Stop. I need that boy. He has answers that I need. Look, I'll make a deal with you. If you give me him, you can have any other soul of the guest here.
So now, with the Guardian of Death on the loose, and hungry for a soul, Danny, Ben, Red, and Jacob all looked on the map to see that the new place was the graveyard. They found out that Death was on the loose, and that lost souls were around, and in order to keep Death at bay, they had to collect talismans of the souls that had passed. Then they would be able to get the artifact, which was Death's medallion. They had to collect the soup of Azumi, the blood of Positive and CJ, the last breath of Elise, and an electric spark from Grayson's corpse, and the knives that killed me and Reset. Once they had all the objects collected, they casted a spell which recollected all of the lost souls, but they still owed a soul to Death. All 4 of the guests had to compete in a race in a maze, and the last one out would have to give up their soul. And the last one, unfortunately, was Jacob. Then, Death became greedy and he wanted to kill all the other guests, but the mayor sacrificed herself to save them.
Please, just save my town.
After Red, Danny, and Ben grabbed Death's medallion, which was their last and final artifact, they collected up all their other artifacts and prepared for the spell that would take them home. They had the monster's coins, the werewolf's gem, the painter's brush, the sheriff's badge, the cursed rose, the cursed daughter's heart, the ticket to the Circus of Souls, and Death's medallion. After they had all the artifacts and they recited the spell, they couldn't help but contain the joy that they were going home. But then, the spell went terribly wrong. All the artifacts disappeared. And then, the founder showed up, and he admitted that he had stolen them, and he would be using them to get out of the town himself and take over the world. The sheriff fought to protect the guests, but he was unable to take down the founder. And then, the founder vanished and put all of the remaining guests to sleep. And then, the town founder returned to the mayor's office where he was holding me captured. He believed that I knew where his son's key was at, and this key could somehow unlock a force that could take him down. But I honestly didn't know. Meanwhile, Red, Danny, and Ben had woken up from their sleep and were looking for a way to take back their artifacts. So they decided to go to the mayor's office to see if they could find something. But they ended up finding me. They found me guarded by all the monsters that the founder had brought back to keep me locked up. But the three guests had the sun's key, which allowed them to open a chest inside the mayor's office, which contained a magic diamond that allowed Danny to cast away the monsters that the founder had brought back. After that, we found a note and a dagger inside of the chest. We discovered that the chest belonged to the founder's son, who found out that this magical diamond could take down the founder, and if we infused the diamond's magic with the dagger, one stab would be enough to kill the founder. After we did that, we were ready to kill the founder once and for all.
Now it is time for the world to be mine.
So the plan was to have Danny, Red, and Ben distract the founder with the diamond while I came up behind him and stabbed him with the dagger. This is for my friends. We did it. The town founder was dead. But unfortunately for me, I was dead too. And that meant I couldn't return to the modern day with Danny, Red, and Ben, and I was stuck in Black Hollow. But I waved them a final goodbye as they were finally able to return and escape this nightmare.